What's up, guys? Coach Cam. In this video, I want to discuss how training muscles hard is the stimulus for adaptations on your body, on your muscles specifically. So, training muscles hard, what does that mean? That means you contract them and you apply resistance directly in line with the muscles that you are challenging. This exercise here, quad extension, I'm performing knee extension, which targets the quadricep muscle directly. So you know that the quads are what's getting the stimulus. And from there, it's a matter of training them as hard as possible. And what I mean by as hard as possible is to failure, to the point uh, you cannot move the weight in a positive direction, and you can't even really hold an isometric contraction either. You have to lower down and exit the exercise because you have fatigued your muscles to the point that this weight that seemed light or moderate in the beginning of the set now feels extremely heavy and difficult, and you are too weak to continue or too fatigued to continue. So it's important to train to that point. Now, a lot of people don't train to this point. They train easier than this. They leave effort on the table, whether that's in the form of reps. They're leaving effort on the table and then just repeating the signal and doing the set over and over, thinking, well, the more sets I do, the more fatigued my muscle is. Well, yeah, because your first set was not hard enough. Your first set did not fully fatigue the muscle. So if that's you, if you're out there and you say, well, my first set didn't work, right? It didn't fully fatigue my muscles. Then yes, doing a second set would increase the stimulus or the fatigue on the muscles. However, at what cost, right? You now doubled the amount of work you performed by going from one set to two sets. You now have more energy you just expended by doing, like I said, a second set. And now your body now has to recover from that second set. It has more to recover from. And the amount of stimulus you gained is very, very small in doing that second set. The amount of stimulus you gain in the second set is even smaller when you do the first set correctly and train the first set as hard as possible. I'm not saying as many reps as possible. I'm not saying with as much weight as possible. Your muscles don't know how many reps you performed. Your muscles don't know what the weight is that you're grabbing. If every weight in the gym, instead of having numbers on it, you could just pick up a weight and feel, okay, this is a good enough weight for me. That's all you need to do. From there, you need to lock in and progress the muscle to failure or to exhaustion. That's how it would be trained, right? You want to keep these muscles under tension. You don't want to spend a lot of time in portions of the range of motion where there's no tension, right? Hanging at the very bottom of a pull-up could be one of those ranges of motion where there's no tension on anything. Or standing at the top of a squat and you're just standing there with the weight on your back, right? You're resting. We all know, we all do it. It's a habit. It's something we need to work on. But that's resting, and that's letting the muscle fibers rest. Instead, leave your ego at the door. Use a weight that is moderate and track your training so you know what weight you're using is the right weight. You're not just walking around the gym guessing. You need to track what you're doing so you know this is the proper weight for me based on my progress so far on this exercise. Then from there, you sit in the exercise, lock in, and contract the muscles until you can't any longer, right? Until it's over, right? Now, you might ask, well, should I do a drop set just to get a little bit more out? How do I know I'm at failure if, I have a little bit more energy? Well, you could do a drop set, but first I would ask you, did you pick a moderate weight? Did the set take you between, 45 seconds to like a minute 15, minute and a half, somewhere in there? Did it take that long in terms of time? And then were you able to train until you could no longer perform a concentric movement, but you were stuck in an isometric hold? And then were you forced to lower down right after that? If you answered yes to all those questions, you really shouldn't need to do another set. You could do a drop set if you just feel like the machine is limiting you, there was a sticking point, maybe you chose a little bit too heavy of a weight, or based on the specific exercise, you could do a drop set. I do some drop sets from time to time with push-ups, and also a little bit with dumbbell bench, just because there's not really a perfect weight choice for me at this point. So do a quick drop set. And really, when you do a drop set, you only want to be able to do another like 2-3 reps. You're not here to do another 8 to 12 reps. You're past that point. You're trying to get the meat and potatoes of the stimulus, which is extreme fatigue in the muscle itself at the very end of a really hard effort. So hopefully this helps you understand that contracting the muscles is key, and finding exercises that do that is your main goal. And then from here, you will get increases in muscle size, strength, and cardiovascular improvements, because after all, anything that contracts skeletal muscle can get you these adaptations.